Stay away from my brother, and stay away from me. Are we clear?
You have no idea who you're fucking with, kid. Oh, good luck with Alvarez. But I got a feeling it's not gonna be your night.
When I heard that Fight Night Champion had a story mode, I was very intrigued. It's very rare that a sport game has a story mode. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can't think of any other sport game with one. The story follows a man named Andre Bishop, who is an ex-boxer now in prison. After winning a fight against a Nazi in the prison, the story goes back 4 years to when Bishop is going for the gold medal in the Olympics. The first 5 to 6 fights lead up to how Bishop lands himself into jail. After doing his time in prison, he gets a job as a sparring partner and quickly finds himself wanting to fight again. This story feels like it really happened, because it seems like a true underdog story, and Bishop is the kind of guy you would root for. As well as following the story of Bishop, it also goes a little into his little brother's life, giving the story extra depth. From corrupt umpires to possible love interests, and even the occasional sad moment, the story offers everything a great movie has, but it's a shame it only goes to 4 to 6 hours depending on the difficulty.
Jokes, huh? Nice. I was starting to think you didn't like me.
Yeah, well, being on the outside takes some getting used to. Guess I'm still adjusting. I like you just fine, Megan. Always have.
Legacy mode for the most part is exactly the same as Fight Night Round 4, but with improved graphics, and the fighting is now easier that the joystick controls have been simplified. The story mode, however, plays differently to Legacy. Although the controls are the same, the fights are not. Each fight has a task that you have to meet to beat the other fighter. In one fight you break your right hand and have to finish out the match only using your left hand, and in the next fight you have to prove that your right hand is healed by knocking the opponent out with your right hand. Also, instead of upgrading your skills by training like in Legacy mode, all of that is automatically done for you, and you only have to train once or twice. Legacy mode is quite easy on the lower difficulties, but on the story mode the game is increasingly harder. The boss of the game is quite hard, and I actually played it on amateur. The thing that annoyed me the most about the story mode was that even if you won the fight clearly, you would still have to redo it if you didn't win the way that you were meant to, like for example knocking out your opponent with your right hand. The training, I have to admit, is better than the last game, but it's still quite boring to do, and I found myself just skipping it. The fighting looks and feels a lot more realistic, but there is still the occasional unrealistic moment, such as knocking someone out and seeing in the replay that you didn't even connect the punch. Other than that, the only other annoying feature of this game is the extremely long loading screens, which can happen mid-match when a cutscene needs to load, which really affects the momentum of the game. A feature which I think EA hasn't gotten right is the online mode. I find it to be quite ordinary because a lot of the players you will verse use really unrealistic tactics. Also, finding a match can take a while, and sometimes you will lose connection to the other players mid-match.
This guy's a friggin' animal! You seen what he done to Raymond? Use your feet, keep your hands up, stick around for a couple of rounds and he'll get frustrated. I guarantee you.
Got it, Gus.
Fight Night Champion has taken a huge risk by adding a story mode to the boxing game, but it's really paid off quite a lot, but I can't see myself really needing to play it again because it's so short. Legacy mode is basically the same as the previous game, but with simplified controls and much better graphics. It's worth checking out. The online mode also hasn't changed much, but it's a decent feature to the game that will keep you playing. I love Fight Night games, but they are getting a tad repetitive, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
What we don't know is how steady he will be on those legs.
Well, we know his personality. He's an offensive-minded fighter, and he has to control that right now.
Yeah!